In general, the Sixes maps have grown on me a lot because when the game comes out, you're very particular on maps because you're not used to them too. And I think generally you start to like them more and more. Well, I guess it can go either way because MW 19, you're like, some of these maps suck. And then you realize, holy Azir Cave, Grozna, these are awful maps. You quickly learn that, you know. But this game, it's mostly been the opposite, you know. Obviously Border's still awful, and I still dislike Hydro, and Asilo has become one of my bottom tier maps as well, which that was one of my favorite maps when we discussed our first impressions. But
Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know, you worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are live, pigs. Welcome to the Dropshot, Call of Duty podcast, episode number 283. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon, and today I am joined by Tiny Tanner. Tiny Tanner, how was Thanksgiving for you?
It's good.
How did the apple cider martinis or whatever turn out?
Apple cider margaritas, they were good. They were really good.
That sounds pretty fucking
apple
good.
cider, some tequila, some triple sec, some freshly squeezed lime.
Don't say.
It was good.
Squeezed. That's cool, man.
Freshly squeezed lime juice, man. Yeah, they were good. They get you there for sure because it tastes mostly like apple cider, and then all of a sudden
and then you're
getting there.
You're doing the Leahy against your
surely.
Jeep. Yeah.
It's the side of my trailer. I live in a
James
trailer
Leahy, park. Yeah. Shout out to James Leahy, friend of the pod. Welcome to the show.
Mr. James Leahy.
Yeah, my Thanksgiving was good too. Partially because, once again, I didn't eat turkey. I had fucking prime rib. I had broccoli with a little cheese sauce, some barley. Oh, God, it was excellent.
Not sure about broccoli with cheese sauce.
You could dip it in. So you could opt in or opt out. It's up to you. It was our first time trying it. It was good though.
Interesting.
Yeah, my dad made it or whatever. But anyway, welcome to the program. Yeah, I got fucked up on Thanksgiving, by the way. My brother worked that night. So we ate super early, like 3:30. And then I hung out, and then we were done by 5 or whatever. And then Michael texted me. He's like, "You want to play poker across the street?" Because he was at his parents' house, and I said yes. I went and played poker and just got fucking obliterated. It was fun. It was real fun. His sister's having a baby, so I donated all my proceeds to that.
Did you?
Yeah.
$0.
I mean, I had all the money, but I said, you know what? Keep it. Keep it, peasant. So I'm better than you at poker, and I'm better than you at Texas Hold'em, but I'm so gracious, I'm going to allow you to have it anyway.
Yeah, she's better than you at having sex, though.
Well, Alex wasn't playing, but that is true. Yeah, I mean, she's got the evidence.
Yeah,
she's got the documents.
On the way. Nice.
Yeah, she's got that thing is cooking. Yeah, for sure. So,
sure.
Anyway, welcome to the show. Today we are not talking about Thanksgiving. We are talking about, nor are we talking about DMZ actually. So, initially, what we had envisioned for today's episode. Was we were going to play some more DMZ, the game mode in Call of Duty. And then we were going to do an episode talking about it. Our first impressions, second impressions, whatever. And then something interesting happened. We finished our Wednesday episode, and Tanner was like, all right, let's play some DMZ. Because we're going to do an episode on it. We got to play it. I know we want a camo grind, whatever, but let's just play DMZ. And I said, you know what? Sure, man. So we got on for DMZ for maybe an hour.
Yeah.
An hour or less. And I think we did 2 raids.
Yeah.
Or 3, maybe. I think it was 2. But at the end of the second raid, I was like, okay, we're done, right? And you were like, oh yeah, we're fucking done. And it's not because something happened. In fact, it's because nothing happened. It was just completely dog shit. Like, we got our little contracts, or what are they called?
We were questing. We were doing quests.
Not contracts. Yeah, the faction missions. So we had done 3 faction missions like weeks ago when it first came out. And then we were like, okay, let's pick the same faction missions and we can do like 3 of them in this next raid. So we did that. We loaded in, do the contract, loot a fucking safe, spend money at a buy station in exfil. So we did all that. And I was like, okay, cool. And we got, I don't know what we got for it. A contraband gun that doesn't matter.
It's like an M16 blueprint or something.
Yeah, cool. So then we finished that, and then we were like, all right, well, let's get 3 more missions. Did that. Went in, did them all easily. No risk, no fear. My heart rate didn't go up 1 beat per minute. And then got out again, and then we were done. And I said, okay, so we're not doing a DMZ episode on Saturday. Because there's nothing to talk about. The mode is dog shit. It's just boring. That's all it is. It's just so boring that it's not even worth talking about. It's not like, there have been times in Warzone, many times, in fact, where we have a lot to say about it because of how much we don't like playing it or hate playing it. But DMZ, we don't like playing it not because, unlike Warzone at those times, it's really bad. We don't like playing it because it's nothing. It's boring. I feel nothing but apathy toward DMZ. It was just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, so boring.
Yeah, I think it could be fun. We were only a group of 2. I think it could be fun with like 3 people having fun, like drinking and shit. But yeah, I'm not understanding the mode, honestly. It's actually been fairly well received. I've been very surprised. A lot of people are actually playing this and talking about it's better. Like even like J-God plays DMZ and doesn't play Warzone. He said he's not going to play Warzone until they like fix all the issues or something. So he's out here like solo queuing DMZ, and I guess I get it, because like there are technically things to do, like there's the missions, but I don't know. Holy fuck, it was so boring. There was nothing going on. Like in both of those raids, I think I would love to come across players. We saw, I think, 2 players. So that was something early on that I said and was very wrong about. Yeah. Is I was like, okay, this is just going to be another mode like Warzone, because there's going to be up to 100 players on it. Well, now it's up to 66, and I wish there were 150 players, because it's so boring. It's just boring. It gets very old fighting AI. DMZ was fun at first, like the first hour and a half, 2 hours we played it, and then it's like you get bored of just fighting AI that acts the same way every single time. You know what to expect, and it's like you can't run into players. And because like people don't jump out of a plane and choose where they're landing, you don't know where anyone's at. You can't like chase people off rip and go land on them. You have no idea.
I wonder if you could buy a UAV in DMZ.
I'm sure you can. But yeah, I don't know. It's just
at that point, we'll go play
like Warzone, people aren't playing it to PvP, and that's like a mode like that needs PvP. And it's like, we do the missions where it's like, oh, exfil with a full backpack, cool. I exfil with a full backpack, and then I go into the next raid with nothing, because everything that I extracted with gave me nothing. It was like I didn't have keys or anything. It was just items that were worth $1 amount, so then they're all gone the next raid. And it's just, I don't know. It's boring. It's meaningless. We already got the M13, so that's done with.
We'll get into it.
I think you said it best. It's just like, wait, hold on a second. Oh, never mind. There's just nothing going on. It's boring. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. That's fundamentally the problem with DMZ, is that when we were playing it, it felt completely pointless. Like, I don't care if I finish this faction mission or not. It doesn't matter. And if I die, I don't lose anything. There's no risk whatsoever. It lacks direction, I think. And it lacks a point. Because like, if you don't see players, it's going to be super, super, super fucking easy and boring and dog shit. And then if you do see players, and maybe that's what you want, go play Warzone. You'll see way more players there. So why does anyone play DMZ? I don't understand it. So it's terrible, and I stand by my initial statement. The player numbers are going to be so bad for DMZ that they are not going to spend development time or resources on making the mode good or interesting because it's going to have a low player count. But the reason it has a low player count is because it released just super unfinished. So if they had just waited, like Tanner said, until like February or March, added more to it, made it more risky maybe.
Well, then all the people crashing, so it's like you crash mid-raid and then you don't get any of your shit done that you were working on, and there's no reconnect feature because Activision 3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know. I keep seeing that too, that it's like, cool, I fucking crashed mid-raid, now I have to try it all over again.
Yeah, that's another, and you use your
Tarkov even
weapon
has a reconnect
slot
feature. Fucking 90 devs probably.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what is going on for DMZ. We're not doing an episode because that's all I have to say about it. Is it just feels pointless. I'm not even interested in learning what the later faction missions are. I'm not interested in what they could possibly even be because I'm almost certain they're shit. And even if they're cool, it's like I don't know. It just feels pointless. So that's kind of all we have to say.
No risk, little reward, no PvP. Looting doesn't matter. You're just finding money essentially for then your cooldown timer. It's just I don't know.
And we've already talked about what DMZ needs. It needs like an economy. You need to be able to. So when I loot a thing of documents or a laptop, I need to have like a stash separate from my contraband stash, which is only guns, through which I can sell this to other players and like even a hideout or something. I mean, I think they should actually just copy Tarkov as much as they can and then just ramp down the hardcore aspect. That's all they have to do. Do everything Tarkov does, but also make it less hardcore. Like the insured weapon slot thing right now. For example, it's like a less hardcore, whatever. Being able to revive your teammates, that's less hardcore. But they could still copy a bunch of things from Tarkov. But again, they won't do that, so it doesn't matter. We will eventually maybe revisit DMZ depending on how much. If I'm wrong and they're going to add a lot of more depth to DMZ, we will definitely revisit it. But if all they're doing is adding new contracts every season, like there's a most wanted contract in DMZ now, that wouldn't be worth going back to, obviously. But if they do something big, we'll hit DMZ again.
Well, those continue to add more faction missions for sure, and build on it. But
exactly, but yeah, I don't think that would even drive us to come back to it. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
I mean, Tarkov's wiping in less than 30 days, so yeah, I won't be going. I won't be giving TMZ another try for sure.
Yeah. Even like, speaking of Tarkov, by the way, even Landmark, who was there for the DMZ shit, every time I see him on Call of Duty, he's not playing DMZ.
He's always playing Warzone. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the Tarkov streamers are more Warzone than anything.
Yeah. Because these Tarkov guys, they play Tarkov for the PvP. So if they can just get more PvP in a game mode like Warzone, they're going to do that. So anyway.
You saw that Landmark got a nuke with OP marked, right?
I did, yeah.
That's cool.
Devious, OP marked, friend of the pod. And was it Lupo?
No. Who else got it with them?
It was Devious, OP marked. Oh, Wagnificent, probably.
No.
Got it. Fuck you.
Man, I don't remember who it was, but OP Mark for sure and Landmark. Those are the two that I know.
Yeah.
Joe Woe. Yeah, Joe Woe. That was an interesting squad. Joe Woe,
Woe.
Landmark, OP Marked, and Devious. Super interesting squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the boys got
That's a crossover. I never expected ever that Landmark and OP Marked would do anything together ever.
Yeah, and then even Joe Woe. They're all like different types of players other than Devious and OP Mark. They're the same type of player, but yeah. Interesting, good for them. OP Mark has like 9 or 10 nukes already, I think.
Shout out to OP Marked, friend of the pod. By the way, if you're a new frog, we did an episode with OP Marked, who was among the 4 people to get the first ever nuke in Warzone 2. If you want to learn more about him, dat boy, you can go into the archives. Just search OP Marked on our YouTube or in our episodes. We did a full ass 3 fucking hour episode with him. Very interesting. Great guy. It was really cool talking to him.
Yeah, that was back during Verdansk, wasn't it?
Back in was it? Yeah, I think it was.
It was Verdansk, yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. But you can go check that out if you want. So anyway, yeah, so we're not doing a DMZ episode today. So instead what we're going to do is talk about Call of Duty. This is originally we had kind of wanted to do I was thinking let's just do a Q&A because we haven't done a Q&A episode in quite a while. But we're going to probably be banking one for December when I'm moving and Tanner's out of town for the feed. So we don't want to do 2 Q&As that closely together. So instead, we're doing something I don't think we've really ever done before. We're just talking about COD today. So we've broken this up into a couple broad categories. The camo grind, multiplayer in general, and then Warzone 2 in general. We're just going to talk about it. It's not necessarily tips. It's not tips, but it's not tips. It's not our impressions. It's not our impressions. It's not strictly that.
Just the game.
Just very broadly speaking
COD.
About the game. About COD, yeah. This is going to be a podcast about Call of Duty. Which makes sense because this is a Call of Duty podcast, so.
Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, and this is a Call of Duty episode, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, before we get into that, I guess, I don't think we have any announcements. December is going to be real weird. We do have a couple more Patreon eps coming out for this month. But make sure if you wanted to stay updated, follow the Twitter and follow the Discord. We'll post our schedules there. Do we have anything else we need to announce, Tanner?
Hangout will be early because the holidays and shit. Hangout, I mean, it may even be the first Saturday. It may even be next Saturday. We'll have to see. It'll be the first or second Saturday for sure, though, with everything we got going on, holidays, the move, etc. So Damascus Hangout will probably be the 3rd or 10th. I want to do MW2 customs again, honestly. That was a lot of fun. They added some more game modes to custom lobbies. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do that again. Well, they had added like that bounty mode and shit in. The bounty and another one. I don't know if they're still in customs, but they're not in pubs yet, I don't think.
That'll be cool.
So, yeah, I think we'll probably try something like that. We'll let you guys know. So the 3rd or 10th should be the hangout, one of those 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So keep your eyes on that. All right. Now getting into Call of Duty.
You want to jingle it?
Yeah, let's
jingle it. We'll hit the jingle. Because then also we can thank Sean for the $20 donation. Sean P. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sean, for the $20 United States donation. His little avatar on YouTube is a license plate that says Fed Smoker.
That's fantastic. Shout out to Sean Phillips.
I'm going to throw on a hoodie. Let's start.
It's cool, man. You should do that. Thank you, Sean. The 20 bones. I don't know why you said epic fail. Maybe you're referring to DMZ, which was in fact an epic fail. So anyway, welcome, pigs, to episode 283. So I want to start, before we get into anything broadly, with the M13B. So to unlock the M13, obviously you had to go into DMZ. You had to kill the chemist, pick up his M13, and get the fuck out of there. I have the M13. Tanner has the M13. We were the first people on Earth to get it. That's fine. And I'm doing my camo grind. And I've been thinking, well, what I'm going to do, it's not even a thought, this is what I'm doing, is instead of doing the Joker, the Pila, and the Strela for Orion, I'm going to not do the polyatomic challenge for those 3. I'm instead going to do just headshots with the M13B, the Victus, the new sniper, and the Boss P, the new SMG. I'm going to do those things to get Orion instead of 3 of the 4 launchers. I'll still have to do 1 other launcher, so I'm picking the RPG. That seems like it's going to be the easiest to get double kills with. I can't imagine it wouldn't be the easiest thing to get double kills with. So that's what I've been doing. And I've gotten the Victus Platinum. It's fine. It's a bolt action sniper. It functions as you would expect. It feels almost the same to me as the MCPR or whatever. I'm sure there are differences. I know that the Victus, if you put on like the longest barrel and suppressor, when your character is holding it, it is quite literally 6 feet long. It's an insanely long gun. So I would imagine the Victus has better velocity than the MCPR, but they feel by and large very similar to me. So that's a gun. The Boss P, the other new gun, haven't used it yet. I mean, I've used it a tiny bit, like in Warzone as ground loot, and it feels like a submachine gun, which is fine. The M13B, however, I don't know about in Warzone. Never used it or seen it in Warzone. But in multiplayer, it is complete and utter dog shit. It's an awful assault rifle, yes. And the problem with it is quite simply, it simply does not do enough damage. That's the only thing wrong with it. The sprint out time is fine. It's in line with other ARs. The ADS time is fine. It's in line with other ARs. The recoil is actually quite good. It's quite little. It feels a lot like the M13 from MW 2019. The problem is, it just doesn't do enough damage.
Yeah.
The TTK on it, the just raw TTK, very slow. Very slow. I don't think I won a heads-up gunfight ever with it, unless the other guy is just missing shots. Because the it's like 5 bullets you need to land. It's crazy. It's so bad. And there was one time, dude, today, because I was finishing the gold challenge this morning on Shoot House. And I was in the junkyard, but I was looking past mid to the opposite lane. And when you're doing that, and someone's like running behind that box in the very middle of the map, you can only see their head. So I see a guy, I have an M13, very little recoil. So I say, okay, well, I can only see his head, but that's not a problem. Because I'm using a gun with no recoil. I'm just going to start fucking his head. Because that's the only thing showing.
You're gonna fuck his head, huh?
Well, that was the plan. I land like 3 headshots in a row, and then I die. I just lose. Even the headshot multiplier is simply not enough. Dog shit, awful, terrible gun. Nothing, it feels great to use until you are landing bullets and you have to land 1 million.
Ah, yes.
So keep in mind the M13 is trash in multiplayer and it needs a buff. What I'd prefer is that every other gun in the game had a TTK similar to the M13. Because the TTK on it is not very slow, but by comparison, it's extremely slow. That's the problem. I wish the whole game had a similar TTK to the M13. But just keep in mind, this gun is dog shit. Fun to use, feels good, but if you're not shooting first, you're gonna die. It's awful. It's terrible. And it is unironically worse than the M16, yes. At least the post-buff M16. I'm working on the M16 now, and it feels great.
I've been getting constantly one-bursted by the M16, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't used the M13 yet.
Don't.
Yeah. Wait, so once Season 1 Reloaded comes out, you can skip all the launchers. Yeah, because we'll have the Honey Badger out.
Yeah, true.
So you can probably skip all of them.
When does Season 1 Reloaded come out?
When you're gone. Remember, it's the 14th, December 14th. We'll both be gone, actually.
Yeah, it's going to quite literally depend on whether... Like, I'm not going to have 50 out of 51 guns platinum and then just sit with my thumb up my ass. So if the new gun is out by then, I'll do that. But if it's not out yet, then I'll just say, fuck it. I'll just get the RPG.
That's true.
They're already platinum. Yeah, you're right. I probably won't have to do the RPG, actually.
But also, yeah, I think Joker, too, I think will be so easy. If you play hardcore hardpoint, Joker, I think, can literally take 2 or 3 games to get double kills, probably. Same with the RPG. So, yeah, it kind of just depends when you finish everything, I guess. Because, yeah, honestly, like, for me, I haven't started leveling up the sniper. That wouldn't even make sense for me. Because that would take so long to level it up, do all the challenges, do the gold challenge, do the platinum challenge, and then do the poly challenge. I feel like it'd be faster just getting the launcher done, honestly. But at some point, I would probably want that sniper to have the camo anyways.
That's been my thought. Exactly. Yeah. Because I think it would be faster to just, for me to just get 15 double kills with a Joker than level the M13 from 1 to platinum. That definitely would have been faster. But I'm thinking, hopefully they buff it. I'd rather have the camo on that anyway. I don't know. I'm not in some huge rush either.
And
but you're right, yeah. That it would be faster to just skip the new guns for now, for sure.
And the Riot Shield, the knife poly challenge is so free, it's just behind kills.
You know what I was thinking? I think the knife is insanely free, but kills from behind with a Riot Shield is actually going to be a pain in the ass. Because once you hit someone from behind once, they're going to turn around.
You'd be surprised, because I did all mine in Ground War. Every single time you hit someone, by the time they react and like think like, oh, I need to turn around, because they're scoped in at something. By the time they realize they're being hit and it's a Riot Shield behind them, I'm already throwing that second hit at them as they're trying to turn on me. It's easy. And then especially in hardcore, if it's one hit, sit in corners, and you only need 10 of them. God, that's so easy. Riot Shield and knife poly, I think, can be done at the most, I would say 90 minutes. At the absolute most. Probably less than that.
I think that sounds about right, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, anyways. Yeah, my camo grind's been going well, though. Got a lot done this last week. I finished up LMGs. By finishing up, I mean up to, I finished all the platinum challenges for them. Finished marksman rifles, pistols completely, and now almost shotguns. I was using shotguns last night. I was using shotguns for hours yesterday. Eventually, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm getting so bored of shotguns. I need to treat myself and use an SMG. God damn, dude. Using an SMG was pretty damn fun, I'll tell you what.
I bet it was, yeah.
It was. So I still need like 1.5 more shotguns gold. My Bryson 890 is only like level 8, so I have to level that up to 22 and do the challenges for it. And my Lockwood is level... Oh, I'm about halfway through gold. I was doing the 3 kills without dying, and that's when I started getting frustrated and annoyed. And so then I stopped. I think I'm at 6 out of 10 on those. And then I have to do all the long shots of the shotguns, which, you know, hardcore won't be bad. But yeah, so I started using submachine guns, and holy shit, dude, what a difference that is. Going straight from shotguns to core, from hardcore shotguns to core SMGs. God damn. It was actually fun playing multiplayer. It was really interesting playing 6s and doing well. I mean, my first game on, I was top of the lobby, of course, using an MX9, which is the worst SMG in the game. But so I think as of right now, if we're not counting the added guns that we got with Season 1, I have 9 gold challenges remaining and 12 platinum challenges remaining. And you know, with my SMGs, I think 4 of the ones that I need to do everything for, they're already almost max level from just picking up and using ground loot in like Warzone and shit. So I think there's very few that I have to like completely level up and do all the challenges for. So, God, I can't believe how fast it was though, getting all the challenges for it done.
Yeah, for sure.
God, you just fly through it. I'm glad I saved SMGs for last because they are very fun to use.
Yeah, I'm also saving them for last. Yeah. So I have every single gun in the game is platinum except ARs and submachine guns. I'm totally done with every single gun except for some ARs and submachine guns. I have 6 gold ARs. Nice. But I'm going to do all 9. And then I have 0 gold SMGs. I haven't even touched SMGs really yet.
How leveled up are they?
Fairly leveled.
Okay. Do you have double XP left still?
No, I don't.
See, I have 2 hours left, and I've been wondering where to spend it. I think one toke I'm going to pop for this remaining... I was thinking about it for the Bryson 890 shotgun. Like I said, it's level 8 out of 22, so I don't know if it's worth it. But I think for sure I'm going to do one with the P90 because that gun has 30 or 31 levels and mine is like only 5, I think. So even if it's good, I'm like, dude, I don't want to level this thing up fully to level 31. So I'm thinking use an hour of double XP. That should probably almost get me maxed out. Yeah, and then, you know, I wanted to save some double XP for like the Victus and the M13 and the Baz P, but
the Baz.
Don't think I will.
Yeah,
I don't think I will. But so I have 2 hours.
I don't think
left.
it matters too much, honestly. Like, pop it for a P90, and if you unlock all base camo challenges, just swap to something else you don't have them all.
Yeah, the thing I've been doing this last week is if a gun wasn't leveled up, I would, when I pop my double XP, I would level it until it was like 3 to 4 levels from max, and then I would use like the remaining 15-20 minutes on my double XP on a gun that was a lot lower level. Like that's what I did with the Lockwood 300. I got it like 2 levels off the last level that I needed for the last challenge, which is like mounted kills. And like, you know what? I'm fucking farting on kids with this. I'm also going to start using the Bryson 890 and getting it leveled. So that's how I went from level 1 to 8 with like last, 15-20 minutes on my double XP or something.
Yeah.
I think that's a strat. Never level it fully up with your double XP because, by the time you get almost there, you're still going to have the first 3 challenges. You may not be done with all of them left, so you're going to have to focus on those. Then you get the last challenge. Not worth it to, waste that full hour of XP or whatever. But
yeah, correct.
But yeah, submachine guns are fun and exciting.
I know, dude. I'm so glad I did dog shit first because, like, I was having trouble grinding because it wasn't fun. Because I literally went from worst category to best category.
Yeah.
That's how I've been doing the entire camo grind since day one. I started with launchers, which was the worst. Then I did melee. Then I did fucking, what did I do next? Battle rifles, dog shit. Then marksman rifles. Then sniper rifles. Then pistols, because hardcore came out. Which was actually insanely easy, and I didn't do anything in hardcore except the long shots, which is absolutely the play, by the way. I was averaging probably 12 long shots with a pistol per game of hardcore hardpoint. It's so fucking easy. And on like half of them, you can get the optic that tells you how far away you are. So I would just find a spot, aim at the ground. If it's 20 or more meters, I'm good. And then I would just prone because there's no diamonds above people's names or characters in hardcore. So if you prone somewhere, like kind of by cover, you'll never be found. People won't see you. I was playing a game of Fortress and I was, oh boy, wonder if I could describe this. You know how are those like a fucking gallows? Is that like square, that like little stage? Are those like gallows? I've never paid attention to it, but it's like, whatever. I'm going to call them the gallows.
Wait, where?
On Fortress.
Oh, yeah. I think they are.
Yeah. Okay. So imagine you're on the gallows, and instead of going to like the back of the map, you just go toward most of the map. But you're on the left side because there's like those 2 like corridors, went to the left corridor from the gallows to mid, proned, and then just looked at the like fountain on the opposite side of the map. And I swear to God, I got like 7 kills in like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Because people were spawning there or they were running through, like spawning farther away. And they just didn't know where I was. Blap, blap, blap. Just so fucking free and easy. That's really good. So yeah. Use tier 1 for long shots for sure.
Yeah, I did.
I'm surprised you're having trouble with the shotguns though. I did long shots with the shotguns.
I'm not having trouble with them. I haven't started long shots yet.
Oh, well, yeah, I know you got off of it. You were just bored or whatever.
It just gets frustrating because I did like a couple games, then of course you get like insane lobbies.
Skill-based, yeah.
And it's like, I got into one lobby where 3 of the guys on the other team were running riot shields on their back and akimbo full auto pistols. So it's like, I can't hit them with a shotgun when they're running away from me. I have to like try to hit their fucking ankle. And it's like, cool, I'm using shotgun shells, so maybe one pellet hits them in their foot and then they're not dead. And then they would keep doing this thing where, like, if I was shooting them from behind, they would lay prone real quick and then pop back up. So, like, there's 0 hitbox on them. Like, cool. What a great... Why are we still adding riot shields into Call of Duty? What the fuck are we doing?
Agree more.
I just don't get it. Like, no one finds them actually fun. People use them because, like, they're busted and they want to protect their back. They're not fun. So it's just so insane.
A riot shield is my secondary until I have Orion, by the way.
Yeah, so you're a piece of shit. I'm just... No, of course I'm not doing that.
Oh, of course,
I'm not a piece of shit. No.
Well, I don't need to just run around pistols anymore.
I just run around with a knife, so I have really fast movement speed.
Yeah, that's a strat.
I'm absolutely not becoming a riot shield piece of shit. Yeah, as much as I would like to, I'm not doing. Yeah, because you're a piece of shit. Yeah,
I have a platinum riot shield on my back at all times. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did all the pistols.
The 3 kill streaks easier. So
I did all the pistols as secondaries and didn't focus on any of them directly until I needed like the 3 kills without dying 5 times, and then, you know, that was surprisingly free. Pistols are very good in this game. I would recommend doing the category soon, because I think a lot of them will get nerfed. Easy. The P890 will probably get nerfed. The X13, every single pistol is good, actually, except for the Deagle. The Deagle is far and away the worst pistol in the game, especially the challenge, because you have to do mounted kills. Mounted kills with a Deagle without awful fire rate is not fun or exciting. It's just terrible. It's unfun. But, you know, Deagle can be really good. If you get a nasty one tap, it can feel very rewarding, but it's not even debatable. It is the worst pistol by far. The other ones are all so much better. I mean, the P890 and Core 2 taps, the X12 like 3 taps. They're so easy to use.
Yeah.
But I did. I ended up doing hardcore for the long shots for the pistols, except for the X13 auto. I was playing Ground War, I think working on LMG long shots at the time. And if there was a guy, I'd strat. If there was some guy that I knew was not LMG long shot distance.
Yeah.
Which was pretty often. I'm like, oh, I'm going to spray with my 33 round mag on this X13 auto. It would take like 10 bullets to kill him, but you can't see the guy at all. But thankfully there's a red diamond above his head, so I knew where to just keep my crosshair. I would mount up and shit. You know, I'd use my Ground War spot, so I'd be behind half the team usually. Shoot him in the back, got that done. I mean, not even working on it, just as my secondary in I think 2 or 3 Ground War games, not even focusing on it, just using it if I saw an opportunity. And all the other ones I went to hardcore. Really easy. The X12 specifically is a lot of fun in hardcore. The X12, which is the Glock. It's the third pistol. Yeah, that sucker is fun. It's got no recoil. You can put a big mag on it. Doesn't have an awful fire delay like the ball sack or the Deagle do. So
the Basilisk.
Ton of fun. But yeah, and then
yeah, I was saving anything with pistols besides like leveling them passively like you were talking about. I was doing that. But like worrying about them at all, I was just waiting till hardcore. Because like in MW 2019, the strat was to level and do the challenges, all of them in hardcore. In this game, that is just not true. Everything is easier in core except the long shots. Because they're so good, like Tanner's saying. All the pistols are broken as fuck, except the Deagle, which is the worst one. They all kill like too fast. They're too good. They do probably need to be nerfed a little bit, I think. It's fucking insane how fun and viable they are. It's amazing how viable they are. This was the fastest overall category for me, easily, was pistols.
Yeah,
getting them platinum, it was the fastest. Like so fucking fast. They were so good.
I never used that optic either, but because it's pretty easy to figure out. If it feels like, oh damn, this engagement is too far for a pistol, then it's going to be a long shot. You know, it's pretty obvious. I tried to use the optic, but the optic's so bad, and like it sits so far forward on the gun, you have to like aim kind of down quickly to see what the distance even is.
Yeah,
it's not always working. So I'm like, oh, this is horrible. I'm better off using an iron sight. So I would just end up using an iron sight.
I noticed that too. If you weapon tune it, you can fix that.
I tried it and it still didn't ever show the whole thing.
Oh, really?
I tuned it to close. I don't remember if
far or close was the one that didn't work well.
Maybe it was. I never tried far.
And it worked.
Because that wouldn't make any sense, but maybe that is the one that worked. Because closer, you should be able to read more of it.
I agree. Yeah.
So that
I
makes
don't
no
know,
sense
but
at
I
all. Maybe it
remember
is
tuning
far
it,
though.
and yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
And another tip, by the way, on the Balisac, the giant Balisac, which is
What is a
the
basilisk?
Magnum.
It's like a fictional.
There is a sniper scope on it. There's a mini sniper scope that I would recommend using for hardcore long shots specifically. I threw that bitch on.
Yeah.
Threw that bitch on. Got it done really quickly. It's got a nasty fire delay, but it's like you can hold your breath on that scope and, you know, line someone up, aim a little bit above their head. And me and this other guy were having like a long shot battle basically at on Albagra. He was back in a spawn. I was in one of those windows like above like the B flag basically, looking through those wooden doors, and he was way back there. I mean, it was a 40 to 50 meter long shot. I don't know because it was hardcore. And I would one tap him every single time with that pistol, with that sniper scope. Aim a little bit above his head. He would, you know, I would get 2 or 3 kills in a row on him. He would get one on me. Then he'd get another on me. And we just keep going back and forth, just basically feeding each other long shots.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wouldn't have been able to do that with an iron sight, I don't think. It would have been a lot harder to hit. So that's a good little strat, is use that little sniper
optic
scope.
for all the long shots. Yeah. Yeah, that sniper scope. Did it remind you of anything using the basilisk with that scope?
No.
Really? I put it on, and I'm not kidding. The second I loaded in and ADS'd, I was you know how like sometimes you'll smell something and you'll immediately against your will be flooded with memories of something in the past where you smelled that?
Mm-hmm.
I had that exact same experience as soon as I ADS'd a fucking BO4. The Skull Splitter operator mod. Do you remember people would do that fucking rat strategy?
No, I don't remember.
You don't
that.
remember the Skull Splitter? I forget what the gun was called. I mean, it was a Magnum, but I don't remember what it was called in BO4. But the operator mod for it was called the Skull Splitter, and it was a one-shot headshot.
Oh.
That was what the operator mod was. And little rat fucks in BO4 would use that, and it was super cheesy. You'd have to hit a headshot, but also the TTK in BO4 was 20 minutes, so it made it really fucking good.
Interesting.
And I remember I would fuck around with it every once in a while too. Are you looking it up? Is that what you were doing?
I did. I Googled it real quick.
What's the gun called?
I don't know.
Okay. Skull Splitter operator mod.
Mozu?
The Mozu, yeah, the Mozu. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I just immediately just got transported back to that time.
Interesting.
Shout out to the Skull Splitter. Terrible attachment. It's super broken.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway.
But yeah, that
was a lot of fun.
Pistols were easy and fun.
Super easy, free, and fun.
Something that was easy but boring and dog shit, LMGs. As I expected them to be. I was dreading the category, not because I knew like they were awful guns. It's just, as I've said plenty of times over the course of this pod, I don't like LMGs in video games ever. They're slow, and I'll never like using them. So I got through them. I mean, they're good guns. They don't have a lot of recoil. They're easy to do long shots for. The trouble is there are 6 of them. I don't want to go through 6 LMGs. So I did, of course. They're all platinum now. Didn't like using them at all, though. So that's cool. Marksman rifles weren't great. I finished those this week too, especially the Mark II and the TAC M. Even the long shots for those ended up being worse than I imagined for the marksman category. A lot of them don't one-tap at ranges you would think they would. Actually, most of them don't. And, you know, the SPR was nerfed. And I don't remember if the SAB-50 was nerfed. I know I never liked that gun much, but I thought that may have been nerfed. I'm not positive. But the SPR was considerably worse at range now, it seems. But yeah, so that category, a little frustrating. TAC M, probably overall the worst. The Mark II is like the Deagle. You'll hit nasty shots with it. You'll get a nasty little 3 or 4 piece. And you'll be like, holy shit, I'm insane. And then you'll get, 40 hit markers in a row pretty much. So it's all over the place. I had started leveling it on Ground War, and I was trying different builds, like using a sniper scope and shit with the Mark II. There's a lot of drop. I started figuring it out, and then I was like, some people were telling me to just use 6s instead. So then I started playing 6s with an iron sight, and I think overall did a lot better, and it was easier that way. But definitely not the most fun gun to use. I'm glad that category is done. LMS, by the way, you had talked about this early on. LMS is insane. LMS and the EBR marksman rifles were nuts. For semi-auto guns, they were really, really good. I mean, so much better than like the TAC-M. The TAC-M just has an awful, terrible fire rate, but the LMS has like an uncapped fire rate. You can put a 20-round mag on it, I believe, and that sucker just barks, man. So, yeah. And with most of those, I actually ended up using sniper scope. I used the SPX 80, I think it is the sniper scope. And building it for recoil control so I can hit follow-up shots pretty quickly. It worked out well, because it's like I'm not going for headshots because I'm just doing long shots. So it'd be nice if it one-tapped, and at certain ranges it will, but at like the longer sniper ranges it won't one-tap, but it's fine. You know, I'd play ground war, and I'd be able to hit a follow-up shot quick enough to usually kill them and get a long shot. But yeah, LMGs are just, they're just boring. They weren't hard, it's just boring. And then doing certain things like, a lot of them, you had to do mounted kills for like 3 or 4 of them, and then prone kills for one of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mounted kills are the worst. That's the worst challenge, I think, overall. Because it's like you only have to do between like 20 and 30 of them, but it's just, holy shit, it's so boring. And it takes way longer than you think it would. Because you're like, oh, okay, 20 kills. But it's like you mount, you die, you keep dying over and over again. And it's just very frustrating. So mounted kills end up being just awful, I think.
Yeah. So the thing with LMGs in this game, which is interesting, is that for most of them, which is super annoying and unlike MW 2019, there is not a smaller mag size attachment, which I was very surprised by. So like in MW 19, on most of those... maybe I'm wrong, but it felt like, from what I remember, on most of the LMGs, the default mag is 75 rounds, for example. There would be a magazine attachment that was like a 50-round mag. And it would... The only reason you would use it is to speed up your handling, your ADS, your sprint to fire, your movement speed. But on most of the LMGs in this game, that attachment doesn't exist. You can do that on the RPK and the Seiken and the HCR. I don't even know if you can on the Seiken, but I think that's it. And that was fucking annoying. Like, you couldn't speed these guns up at all.
Yeah, I never even tried to, because it wouldn't
like
be
a rat pig.
Because it wouldn't be, because you're still gonna have shit mobility anyway. So I just stuck with the default mags. I wouldn't want to use the smaller ones anyways, honestly. Other than the RPK, and then even then, I experimented with like the 30 and 40 round with the RPK, and then I just went back to the drum mag. Because I'm like, my mobility is still awful. Sure, the reload is... Like, the RPK doesn't have a bad reload, because at 75 round as a drum, you just put right back in. It's not, like, belt-fed, like most of the other LMGs are. Some of the other LMGs. But yeah, they're just slow-moving guns. You just have to play like a dirty rat, and I just don't enjoy doing that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were talking about subs a little bit. I'm excited to actually like try and sweat on Shoot House now instead of being on the opposite side of that, getting destroyed. The first SMG I did last night was the MX-9. I know a lot of people have been hating on the MX-9. I was using that sucker, got it gold. It was already max level. And I was like, this isn't bad. Like, it feels okay. Got it gold, finished all the challenges. And then I went and used the Vaznev next, and I could not believe how much better it was than the MX-9. I was like, okay, now I understand why people are hating on the MX-9. It's like what you were saying with the M13. I think if every gun in the game had an MX-9 and M13 time to kill, multiplayer would be a lot more fun. Yeah. I mean, the MX-9 in multiplayer, the time to kill literally feels like the time to kill in Warzone up close with a Fennec. Like, I swear to God, it takes like 6 or 7 bullets up close to kill people with the MX-9. And I thought it was fine until I went and used a more broken one. You know, the Vaznev, I was like, I started building and I put an extended mag on it, and then I went into a game, and I'm like literally 3-tapping people cross map, and I'm like, holy shit, why did I put an extended mag on this? I'm thinking this is Warzone. 30 bullets, I can get 10 kills with this gun. So then I took that sucker off, but Jesus Christ, it was so goddamn good. So I'm glad that I think I have the 2 worst SMGs done, because I had already done the MP7 a long time ago, and now I have the MX-9 done. So now it's like, My Fennex max level, I have that to do. The P90, the Mini Buck, the Hurricane, and the Lockman, and all of those are supposed to be pretty damn good. So I've got the two awful ones out of the way. Game has great speed though when you're using an SMG. I just wish it then wasn't ruined by like the slow slide where you can't shoot or do anything and then come out of it and can't shoot either at the end of that. But yeah, the MX9 was like actually firing BBs compared to the Vaznev. So glad I had the two awful SMGs done. It was fun running around Shoot House.
I would imagine, yeah, because I've used them very little. There were like a couple times if I was like really fucking farming Shoot House, this would happen. This happened to me probably like 5 times in the past couple days, where I'm leveling or I'm doing whatever, an AR or an LMG, and then I'm fucking barking super early game, and I'm out of ammo before my first Muni field upgrade is ready. So I just have to pick up some gun. And if there's a gun on the ground on Shoot House, there's a 90% chance it's a submachine gun. So I'd be like, okay, well, I guess I'm using this. So that's all I've used the SMG, but in multiplayer. But every time I do, fuck me, dude. I'm zooming. I'm moving 200 miles an hour. Instant fucking sprint out. ADS time. God, it's fun. Yeah. Just torching kids. I'm very glad I saved it for last. That's going to be a lot of fucking fun. I'm really, really excited about it.
Yeah. But yeah, especially now that Shoot House is out and your last category is SMGs.
Exactly. Which is a perfect SMG map. Yeah. Because even ARs, for the most part, they actually feel too slow.
Agreed.
To play heads up with SMGs. Like, you have to slow down a little bit. But with LMGs, it's like, yeah, I get why people don't like them, and I get like why you don't. But if you do have to change your play style, actually, if you want to do well. But kids will get they'll get mad at you, so then they'll keep pushing the same lane, thinking they can beat you, and they can't.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing LMGs, I would just fucking prone down a lane and just wait. And then someone would run by and they would get 2-tapped, like just completely deleted. Because I have an LMG and the damage is insane. I love LMGs when I'm already ADS'd. I just hate them if I'm not. But yeah, they would like get torched, and then they would try it again, get torched again, and now they're mad. So the rest of the game, they're gonna like jump peek you, slide peek you, dolphin dive peek you, thinking they can win. And they're wrong every time. So they just keep funneling to you.
Yeah.
And you just keep farting on them. And then you're like really cooking with gas. But you got to piss kids off enough to make them run to you. And then LMG leveling is very fast and efficient and easy as fuck.
Yeah.
But you got to piss the kids off, because if they're camping on you, you'll never get a kill with an LMG. They're way too slow. Even if you build them for as fast mobility as possible, which I would do every time, because I still think it's faster to just play on Shoot House, which is a very suboptimal LMG map unless you're, again, camping and getting people to come to you.
Yeah.
I would just like no optic, because that slows down my ADS time. No barrel unless it's a short barrel. No muzzle. Like some of these LMGs, my best class setup was 3 attachments. Yeah. It was like a stock with increased sprint to fire ADS, a grip that does the same, and a short barrel if it had one, or a smaller mag if it had one. And then that would be all. Because everything else would be counterproductive. And it would still be slow and dog shit, but it would be better.
Yeah.
And don't forget to weapon tune, guys, by the way. It makes a pretty fucking big difference. I don't know if tuning one particular attachment would be very noticeable. Probably wouldn't be. But every time, like, if I finish my last STB base camo challenge, by the time that game ends, I've probably also max leveled it and then gotten weapon tuning. So I've been using the same attachments for the last 4 games at the STB. But I just unlocked weapon tuning. I will tune it for ADS speed and sprint to fire, or whatever you want to do. But when you tune it for ADS speed and sprint to fire, that's really easy to notice if that actually got faster or not. Yeah, and when you're doing it for like 4 attachments, it's super noticeable and helps a lot. So don't forget to weapon tune, especially before you start your gold challenge, the 3 kills without dying shit. because it can make a pretty fucking big difference. It shaves off like, I would say if you're tuning like 3 attachments you're already running for aim down sight speed, I want to say you get like 50 milliseconds from those 3 of ADS speed. Like it's a lot. Like it's noticeable. Have you been doing that
much? I feel like you can tell a difference, but it doesn't seem like, to
50
me,
might be overstating.
A lot of times it doesn't seem like big enough to even know that it's like making it like a considerable difference, but I usually do it anyways. Yeah, Ace had put out a weapon tuning video. We'll have to watch that and talk about that on the Wednesday pod. He's put out some other videos. We'll catch up with those and talk about them on Wednesday. But yeah, I know, like, I think even attachments on different guns act differently based on your tuning. It's not like the same across just like each attachment. It changes per gun that it's on too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's interesting.
So there could be a lot of differences there. But
it's like the same silencer on 2 guns will have different tuning options.
I think so. I thought that's what it was. I would believe not positive, that. Though.
It makes no sense, but I would believe it. That's why I believe it. In fact, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I still tune them when I get max level, but don't always directly notice a difference, even though, you know, it is probably doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah. One next thing here, we kind of talked about shotgun. I did all of my shotguns in tier 1 hardcore, and I would highly recommend doing that. You will like not lose a gunfight ever. I mean, I did that for every single shotgun challenge so far.
That makes sense.
And I cannot stress how much fun, specifically the Bryson 800 is the best one by far, and also the Lockwood 300 is also really, really good. But the Bryson 800 like actually one taps from like 25 meters consistently while holding, you know, it's pump action, but it still holds like 6 shells by default, maybe 7 or 8, I don't know. And it's got good irons, ADS is fast. It's just so goddamn good, you know, whereas the Lockwood, you can fire 2 shots and you have to reload. So it gets a little frustrating early on before you have fast hands, but I would recommend doing every shotgun challenge in hardcore, because I then tried to go to core and I was using the Lockwood 300 and I would get like up to 3 hit markers on people at times, which was insane. Yeah. Hardcore is definitely just easier for all of this. It was actually a lot of fun. So many people were pissed off. I always got the death columns like, holy fuck, this shotgun, insert gamer word here. They were getting so mad. It's like, wait, it's like, hey, I'd be farming you more if I had an SMG, buddy, but all right, whatever. Keep bitching about it. Shitter.
Hardcore kids get mad, because they're dog shit and you're not a good player if you main hardcore, so sorry. Which is fine. It's fine to be a not good player, but let's be clear. The reason you like hardcore better is because the TTK is non-existent. You don't need skill for it, so. Anyways, with that said, I did literally nothing in hardcore for shotguns. And I would say, like you were alluding to earlier, if you wanted to level shotguns, but you really hate playing hardcore, that's fine, but don't play Shoot House. That's not a good shotgun map.
No, it's not. You're better off playing Core 6s.
You would think it is, but it's really not. Because a lot of those sight lines are fairly long. Like the Lockwood, you could probably play Shoot House. And
it's an excellent SMG map specifically, as you said a little while ago. Shotguns, no, not so much.
Yeah, because the only like shotgun range engagements you're going to get on Shoot House are either in the junkyard or in the room upstairs, those 2 rooms. But like, you're going to just die trying to get there often. So if you want to level shotguns in core, just play hardpoint. And then you can fart on kids, which is what I did. Dude, it was so fucking fun playing in core, doing shotguns for me. But again, this was before Shoot House. I was just playing hardpoint and it was great. But yeah, I can imagine Shoot House being just deceptively difficult to do shotguns on.
Yeah.
Or you could just do hardcore. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, because there's people holding lanes all the time, so it's a little rough to like get past them when you're using a shotgun. Can't rip them off a heady, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I did hardcore. I used 2 hours of double XP on shotguns, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, to kind of wrap up the camo grind, I'm kind of unsure how the poly atomic grind is going to work for me. I'm expecting probably to unlock and have my first poly atomic challenges by next weekend. I'm kind of burnt out right now because I played a lot this week and have like I don't even want to play today or tomorrow. I probably will a little bit, but I'm just like burnt out. Don't really have much interest in doing the camo grind right now. I want to take a little break. So mine is going to slow down quite a bit here. So I'm assuming, 9 golds and I think 12 platinums left. I'm assuming probably by sometime next weekend I'll have my first poly challenge done, because again, SMGs are gonna fly, so that won't take that long. I mean, I got two of my max level SMGs. I got gold last night, and like I did all the challenges for them and the gold challenge in under 60 minutes, I think, on Shoot House. I mean, it was insane how fast they were once they're max level. But yeah, so I don't know yet what guns I'm gonna skip over in favor of like the M13, the BAS-P. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I still don't have a strat at all. I just know once I unlock the poly challenge, I'm not, when the game launched, we did launchers and riot shield and knife first. We wanted to get the shit out of the way. When it comes to poly, I'm not going to do that, because I want to have first poly guns that I can use in Warzone that are then polyatomic. So I'm going to do a lot of the guns that I like using, the Fennec, maybe some of the Akimbo pistols, the TAC 56, the TAC V, the AK 47, a couple snipers probably. I'm going to do a lot of those first, and then once I determine, how well I'm doing, how fast I'm going, then I'll kind of start thinking, okay, what guns do I not want to do? Do I really want to go through and now max level and then do all the challenges, gold, platinum, and then poly challenges for like this, the BAS-P, or do I want to just, do 2 of the launchers instead? I don't really know yet. So I'm definitely not going to save the shit things for last, but when I unlock poly challenges, probably honestly my first 10 or 15 weapons at least, I'm going to do guns that I want to do that are probably good. So I can start knocking some of them out quickly, and then I can use, that camo in Warzone. So I'm not going to save them for last, and I'm also not going to do them first. I'm going to probably do them somewhere in the middle. Once I get further through the grind, I'll figure out what guns I for sure want to skip and not.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do either, because I'm pretty close. I'm not burnt out at all. One of the reasons I saved good guns for last is for exactly that purpose. Because I've been playing a lot lately, but it's because all the guns I have left to do are fun. So like, I'm having a lot of fun. I want to play now. I want to end the podcast. I'm really enjoying the grind right now. I'm going to fucking power through. Stay humble. But I don't know what my polyatomic strat is going to be. I'm definitely going to start with the riot shield and the knife.
Interesting.
Because those are going to be dog shit. I'm really dreading the riot shield. 10 kills from behind.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how easy that is.
You think ground war's the play for that?
I don't know. I think I'll try. Maybe I will do the riot shield first just to test it and report back. I think I'll try ground war first. And then go from there. The trouble is, there's really only like one map that I know would work really well with that, and that's the map Sed City. So yeah, if you have to lobby shop, it's gonna end up taking longer, and hardcore is probably just better. Hardcore, I know. Hardcore free for all. Sit in corners.
Ooh, yeah.
Sit in corners, sound whore, wait for people to run by. People don't move a lot, but when they do, you'll be able to hear them because it's free for all. Everyone's scared to shoot and do shit. You can hear all the footsteps in that mode. Find a corner on a map. Wait for them to run by, smack them once in the back. That'll probably be it, actually. Maybe I'll try that first. But yeah, probably hardcore in general. Having to do only one hit. That'll be easier. There's a lot of people running riot shields in hardcore now too. I was actually feeding some guys some kills
other
yesterday.
People are gonna hear me if I'm riot shielding in hardcore.
You only have to do it 10 kills.
If they run past you, you have to catch up to them.
Yeah.
Right.
As soon as they run by you, pop out of your corner you're in or whatever and sprint up to them.
Yeah.
Get one hit.
Not that bad.
I mean, even if they hear you, they're going to turn around and start shooting at you. You're going to have your riot shield already out, so they're just going to be hitting your riot shield. Worst thing you do is you kill them from the front and don't get a kill from behind.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so maybe that will be the strat. Combat knife, 20 kills from behind, super easy. I'll do that next.
That'll actually be really fun. I'm excited to do that.
That's going to... From behind kills are cringe in general, however. That's going to take longer than it sounds, by the way.
Maybe.
I've been doing the 15 kills from behind with guns. And it took me longer than I thought it would and was annoying. So it's going to take longer than you think, but it's not going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be pretty fucking easy. Then my question is, I'm going to do the RPG. I need to get 15 double kills. I don't know what the play is. I don't know what to do for that. I mean, one thing you could do is like hardcore hardpoint, shoot at the hard point. Another thing I think works, which we've talked about, is if I have an RPG out, if I'm holding an RPG and throwing knife is my lethal. I'm pretty sure that if I melee someone, even in core, instead of bopping them with the RPG, you just take out your throwing knife and slash them with that, and then like put it back. That's how it worked in like MW 2019. If you have a throwing knife equipped as your lethal and you press your melee button, you actually slice them. Is that how it's going to work? And would that count as a launcher kill? Because then I'm thinking maybe core would be better, like core hardpoint. Shoot at a hardpoint, get a kill with the RPG, and then just try and run up and stab someone. It doesn't count. Have you confirmed that,
I don't
Bjorn?
know. Oh. Yeah, that counts for XP, yeah. But I think Bjorn may be thinking about...
Bjorn tried it.
Are you talking about throwing the knife?
Polyatomic?
No, he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Bjorn's
He
wrong.
thinks you're saying throwing the knife. That's what he's talking about. Raz is talking about just literally meleeing and knifing, right?
Yes, when you melee,
yeah.
If you have throwing knives, your character will do a different animation. He'll slice with the knife. I'm not throwing the knife.
Yeah.
I just have it equipped so that my melee becomes a one-hit kill. This is how it worked in MW 2019. If you had a throwing knife equipped, even if you don't throw it, if you just press melee, instead of doing like a pistol whip, you'll slash and get a one-hit kill. So I'm wondering if that would work for an RPG, if it would count. When you melee, it does not count for challenges. I know that that's false. I'm positive that's false. So if I don't run a throwing knife and I'm holding an RPG and I bop you, that counts as an RPG kill.
That does,
I'm
yeah.
almost 100% certain on that. So yeah, Bjorn doesn't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to try this strat, the launcher melee with throwing knives. That might work. If it does work, is that easier than just doing hardcore hardpoint? What do you think?
No, I think that's worse. I think I'd rather just play hardcore hardpoint, honestly.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it'll be that bad. I did think it would be early on, but now that we have hardcore, like getting double kills with a Joker, if like they have the hardpoint, you're like literally, if it's somewhere outside that you can fire a Joker, you're literally like guaranteed a double kill every single time you fire the Joker.
You think the Joker would be easier than an RPG then?
No, I think RPG, if there's two launchers that I would do, I think it would be the Joker and the RPG. For sure the RPG. The second one would probably be the Joker. If not the Joker, then I would do the Strela. Yeah. I mean, even you could do the Joker in like Ground War even. Because two guys are always on a roof together. That's the other thing.
Yeah. It's just 15 with like, it's not going to be, it wouldn't be hard to do any of them to get 15 double kills, really. Well, the Strela would be pretty fucking hard, actually.
Pila would be the worst. Strela, the more I use it, the more I liked it. But getting double kills would be frustrating.
Yeah.
Because to get a double kill with the Strela, you'd have to get either a double kill with the single rocket or get one kill with a rocket and then melee someone. Because you can't
bop someone.
Yeah, because you can't. It reloads too slow to get a double kill with the Strela. So you'd have to do it that way. Whereas the RPG, you could fire, get a kill, reload quickly with fast hands, fire again, and that would still be a double kill.
Do you think it would?
Absolutely, yeah.
It reloads that fast?
Absolutely. With fast hands, that sucker's back in there. If you can get a shot off quick enough, yeah, I think it would be.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'll try hardcore hardpoint then. That's the only thing I'm dreading, really. That and the riot shield, I think, are just going to be fucking annoying. But once those are done, yeah, everything else is 25 headshots, free low. What's going to be the most dog shit weapon to headshot? To get headshots with?
I think pistols. Deagle will not be fun. Deagle, you get headshots often.
Easiest.
I don't think so. I mean, it's still
to get a headshot.
Yeah, if you're aiming at their head, though, you know how many shots you're going to miss trying to get that headshot and how many gunfights you're going to lose?
Yeah.
If you hit them in the head, then yeah, they're dead, but it's the fact of you trying to actually hit their head. Whereas like any higher fire rate pistol is going to be way easier. The P890, the X12, the X13 auto, build them for hip fire, spray them up close in the head. They'd be so much easier. So Deagle, I think, will be the worst. And then the Basilisk as well. That may be rough, but I think I would do. I think I would do hard. Really, I was thinking of hardcore with that sniper scope again. Honestly.
Ooh, that would be fun. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Actually.
Yeah.
Possible. But you could headshot people with that sniper scope in core. Actually.
Yeah, that's true. But
that would be just easier.
But in hardcore, you can do it at a longer range for sure. I don't know how far that gun will one-tap headshot in core.
That's a good question, actually. That's a good question.
And in hardcore, people are worse and play a lot slower, so it's easier to like just shoot someone who's crouched somewhere in the back of the map.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. If you're playing against a bunch of kids running SMGs, you're never going to get a headshot in core with that the sniper scope.
I was thinking I would just run around with snake shot and then pretend it's a shotgun that I'm going for headshots with.
That would work too, yeah. I was thinking snake shots. That would probably work pretty well.
Yeah, either one.
You're going to do better overall using snake shots because you're going to get a lot more kills, whether or not you're actually hitting headshots. But
for sure.
But yeah, snipers will be insanely easy. Oh, never mind. I thought it was less headshots. Snipers will be insanely easy. Marksman rifles as well will be easy. Everything will be, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think... pistols won't even be bad, and out of all the guns, pistols I think will be the worst to get headshots with. But still,
definitely.
It just won't be bad at all.
Yeah, and they still won't be bad. Battle rifles are going to be probably the easiest category. Actually. Because I think all of them are one-shot headshot in core. No, maybe not. But a lot of them are. They're really good. I got a lot of headshots kills. TAC V, I know, is a one-shot headshot in core. So that's super gross.
Lockman 762 is up to a lot of ranges for sure. And like the SO14 is fully auto and easily controllable. It just spray people down with that one, and 6 is. But yeah, I think regardless, once you get the poly challenge unlocked, it's going to be just fun. Because you'll just be going for headshots playing the game like normal, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I'm very excited.
You can play any mode you want for that and get
as far as I'm concerned, once I have polyatomic challenges unlocked,
the grind is over.
And pretty much. Once I'm done with melee and launchers, the grind is completely over, yeah. And then it's just have fun.
Yeah.
Like actually, which I'm very excited for.
So yeah, and in that sense, I actually like the way they did the camo grind this year, how it's like, believe me, it still doesn't make any sense. Headshots should have been before long shots, probably.
I'm glad they weren't, but
I'm
long
glad
shots
they
are
weren't
definitely
too.
more dog shit and cringe and harder, unironically.
Or even 3 kills without dying 10 times is way harder, I think, for the average player than like just getting a lucky headshot would be.
Because dude,
we have people asking us that a lot. Like, what are your tips for getting 3 kills without dying? I'm like, honestly, I just play slow. I don't know, man. Just play really slow.
Yeah.
Once you get
if you're dog shit,
play
that would
super
really
slow.
suck.
It would be, and
especially
you have to
with
every
like
gun.
These bad weapons.
So that almost should have been the poly challenge, but whatever. I'm glad it's not. I'm glad once platinum's over, the hard, annoying part of the grind is over.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very excited. Yeah. So
this holiday season, I'll be giving thanks to our friends at MANSCAPED. Everybody loves turkey and stuffing, but you'll be looking like dessert with the help of MANSCAPED's Performance Package 4.0. The leader in below-the-waist grooming have blessed you with the ultimate Thanksgiving dinner topic. Tell your in-laws about your new cutting-edge ball trimmer and gift yourself or the man in your life the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Trim your little tiny pumpkins by going to manscaped.com and use code DROPSHOT for free shipping and 20% off. Think your holiday spread is good? It's time to give thanks to Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0, or as I like to call it, the perfect package for my little package. Inside, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold those goodies. Think of it as a cornucopia for your balls. Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight when needed for a more precise shave, plus it's waterproof. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds and top in your nose and ear. This nose and ear hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in your delicate little holes. You can't forget Manscaped's liquid formulations. The Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Toner Spray are like the pumpkin pie and ice cream after a nice Thanksgiving dinner. Can't live without it. Your balls will be living in turkey heaven with these formulations. As if it wasn't enough, it's time to do the dishes with Manscaped shower products. Lather some of Manscaped's refined body wash on their brand new signature body buffer and give yourself the lather and rinse your body deserved. Lose the loofah and exfoliate your mates. No hygiene routine is complete without Manscaped's signature deodorant as well. A couple swipes of this and you'll be feeling, ooh, so crisp. Gifting Manscaped is the ultimate hack to become the family favorite. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Dropshot at manscaped.com. 20% off free shipping. Go to manscaped.com, use code Dropshot. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
That is that for the camo grind. Obviously, if it's not obvious, actually, I should say, this has been predominantly where my focus has been with Call of Duty lately. Again, DMZ's dog shit. Warzone 2, I've played some of. It's fun, but I want to be done with the camo grind first. And then once I have Orion, I'm going to like go super hard into Warzone and like get used to it. Because I still feel like bumbling and slow and dog shit because of the inventory system. Like I can't like loot fast yet. Right now, yeah. I just don't have enough time, so I want to just
used to it. But
yeah, exactly. I just want to sink more time and hours into it and stuff. But I'm having so much fun with the camo grind, and I'm getting so close now. That's what has been preoccupying me the most, and I think that's true for Tanner as well. Although he's played more Warzone than I have.
Yeah, yeah. If there's people on to play Warzone, I would rather play Warzone. But it's like late at night when I'm not going to play Warzone, I'll grind camos. That's kind of where I've been. I've been playing Warzone pretty much every day, at least for, an hour or two if there's people on. But yeah.
So eventually my focus will be completely on Warzone, but for now it's not. So that's why we had a lot to say about the camo grind. And by extension, multiplayer. I mean, obviously we've been grinding camos in multiplayer. So now we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, a little bit here.
MW2, multiplayer, just in general.
Yeah.
How we're feeling about it.
Yeah, I'm having a ton of fun still, actually. Most of my opinions haven't changed from the last episode we did, which I guess was a Patreon episode, I believe. Ground War is good when I'm doing specific challenges. Shoot House is typically a sweat fest, but that has made core sixes, much more enjoyable for me. So I'm glad Shoot House is in, because Shoot House is great for a lot of things. And if I don't feel like playing it, I can go play core sixes, and there are not very many good players there, because most of them are queuing Shoot House 24/7. So I like that aspect of it, but I'm still enjoying it. Not sure how I'll feel about it once the camo grind's over. As I was grinding camos yesterday, I was thinking this. I'm like, how am I going to feel about this game when I don't have camos to grind anymore? I'm actually ever going to want to hop on multiplayer and just play it to play it. I literally don't know. I couldn't tell you, because right now I'm strictly hopping on to do the camos, and I'm enjoying it mostly. But even if I'm enjoying it, when the camos are done, am I going to want to play multiplayer? I really have no idea. I think it kind of depends on the state of Warzone at that time. It's like I'm having fun because there's a reason to play multiplayer. I'm trying to attempt something and finish it. And if that's removed, then I just want to like play to win and do well. I'm not sure how I'll do. Honestly, I don't know how much I'll like it. Because I feel like even doing the camo grind, like I feel like the honeymoon phase is over and I'm still enjoying it. But that could be because like Vanguard, I stopped enjoying it quickly because I determined right away, like 2 weeks in, I wasn't going to do the camo grind. So there's no reason for me to play the game. I was just like playing it to try to have fun, and it wasn't fun at all.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know where I stand. I'm definitely going to finish this camo grind now. I'm certain of that. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to feel after. I have no fucking clue. Can't even take a guess at it.
One thing I was thinking this thought too. I was like, man, am I gonna still be playing multi once I'm done with Orion? I was like, I'm with you. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
One thing I had been thinking was, well, then I can start working on those mastery challenges for guns I like.
That's true. Yeah. Good point.
But which is a huge grind. You need to get, I think it's what, 100, 200, 300, 400. So 1,000 total if you want like the weapon charm, which is what you get for doing all of those challenges. And I was like, that would be really cool to be working on whenever I just want to like fuck around and play multiplayer, which I am having a lot of fun playing, especially when I'm doing the gold challenge. It's like a new game, because then it's like getting 3 kills without dying is identical to just how I would normally play.
Yeah, you play how you want to play, exactly.
And that is actually a lot of fun. Because it's also with a gun now. It's with a fucking STB that I've set up with weapon tuning to be just an optimal gun setup.
Yeah.
So I've got an optimal gun, optimal class setup. I'm not running decoys. I'm running stims. And all I'm trying to do is get kills without dying. And every time I'm going for those, I have a lot of fucking fun. So, but also I'm going for a camo too. That's part of why it's fun.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking like, yeah, I'll start going for those mastery challenges, I think, for like guns I enjoy. But the problem is they do weapon balancing all the time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to be close.
Ward, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. It's a good point. But I wouldn't want to be close to getting like an STB done because I want to use the STB in Warzone 2 and have the dope ass charm for it. And then it gets nerfed when I'm at 750 kills.
Exactly.
So then it's like, fuck, dude, what guns do I work on this for? And that's the problem, is because weapon balancing exists, it's going to be tough to do.
Yeah,
I think there are a couple of safe bets, though. I think the first sniper, the MCPR, is never not going to be the best. Well,
they're not.
It's going to be among the best snipers, like, forever.
Yeah. They're not going to make sniping any worse than it is right now. They'll only buff sniping at this point because you can't make it any worse.
Exactly. And they're not going to like change how the bolt action most standard basic sniper on Earth behaves.
Yeah.
You know, that's always going to be like the bolty long range sniper to use in Warzone if you're sniping, unless they came out with like a better one. But I don't even know what that would look like. Because if it has like more velocity, like the Victus, well, it's got a smaller mag too. If the MCPR has enough velocity, I'm just going to use that. So then the only way they could make a better one is like a bolty with like a faster rechamber or something, which they could do. So even that maybe isn't the safest bet. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else would be a safe bet, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either, honestly.
Hard to say.
It is. I'm with you that the sniper, the MCPR would be a good one to do for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like when I'm done with a camo grind, am I ever going to want to play Ground War again? I don't think so. Because Ground War is good for a lot of the challenges for me, in my opinion. But it's like, if I'm trying and don't want to use a vehicle, and in matter of fact, I want to avoid vehicles, I'm in Ground War's current state, I wouldn't want to even play it.
I agree.
If there was boots on the Ground War, or just basically invasion with no AI and 12 more players on the map, I would play the fuck out of that and probably never play sixes. But we don't have that, and we may get it at some point. We probably will get boots on the Ground War at some point. Some version of that. Some version of Ground War where it's players only, no AI, and no vehicles. We'll get that at some point.
No tanks.
But yeah, like, if I want to actually play, I'm just going to play sixes, I think, once the camo grind's over. So I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the big scar on MW2. I think the biggest letdown for me, because again, this is something you and I have talked about a lot, is that we had largely realistic expectations for this game. So the biggest letdown would have been the time to kill, probably. But we knew it was going to be entirely too fast, so that's not a letdown for me. The biggest letdown for me is Ground War not being good.
Agreed.
I'm genuinely surprised at how dog shit it is. It's not fun at all. I don't think I've had a Ground War game that was like really fun. And I'm not kidding, literally once. It's boring. It's dog shit. The maps suck a lot, and the vehicles ruin it. Well, no, the maps themselves are so bad that it's not even the tanks that are the biggest issue with Ground War. It's the maps themselves. They suck. They're terrible. I don't know exactly what's wrong with them either. It's very hard for me to figure out because, like Krovnik Farmland, best Ground War map ever designed. What makes that a really fun and good Ground War map that none of the MW22 Ground War maps have? I don't know. I don't know why Farmland is so good. But it's so much better.
It's not.
I'm getting in
80%
gunfights
buildings.
with other players all the time.
Yeah.
On Farmland. Yeah, I guess it's just fewer buildings, right?
No one. You can snipe on Farmland, but you're not going to have like an angle on the entire map being on a roof.
Yep. You'll usually be like behind a tree or like behind a hill. Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right, actually. I think that is what it is. Just too many buildings. So that's the biggest letdown for me by far. Because if Ground War was really good, if MW22, all the Ground War maps were remakes of MW 2019 maps, that's all I would be playing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would be confident I would continue to play multiplayer after the grind is done.
Wonder if we'll get a Ground War remake, by the way, because we haven't had a Ground War remake map yet since, MW19 was the first game to have it, really. And then now this is the next IDub game. Maybe we get like Farmland or some other map into the game at some point. That would be really cool. That would make it a lot better.
It would be cool, but I don't think you would save it. Because it would still be like a 1 out of like 7 chance you get a good Ground War map.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. But anyway. Luckily, between Shoothouse 24/7, soon to be Shipment / Shoot the Ship 24/7, and then regular sixes, which has very good maps, I'm having so much fun. It's just a shame I can't also play Ground War and have fun.
Yeah.
But like that's what I've been doing is I'll play Shoot House. Once I get kind of sick of that map after an hour or so, I'll go to my quick play filter, play Hardpoint on all the other sixes maps, which are very good. I enjoy most of the sixes maps. I think they're surprisingly well done. Better than I had expected. Fortress is my new favorite sixes map, by the way. What are your thoughts on that?
Fortress is fine. I think my favorite right now is Embassy.
I love Fortress.
I really like
Embassy. It's a great map, too. I really enjoy that also.
It's a great map for all guns. Like, that one was amazing for shotguns, too. Like, that map is bigger than Shoot House, but it's way better for shotguns because the way it's designed.
Correct. I would agree with that 100%. Because you can just play in those 3 buildings, and then you have...
And you can get from building to building so quickly.
5-foot sight lines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's excellent.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Embassy's overall turned into my favorite. But yeah, like in general, the sixes maps have grown on me a lot. Because when the game comes out, you're very particular on maps because you're not used to them, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think generally you start to like them more and more. Well, I guess it can go either way. Because MW19, you're like, some of these maps suck, and then you realize, holy shit, Azir Cave, Grozna, these are fucking awful maps. You quickly learn that, But this game, it's mostly been the opposite, Obviously, Border's still awful, and I still dislike Hydro, and Asilo has become one of my bottom tier maps as well, which that was one of my favorite maps when we discussed our first impressions. But and the thing that's ruining that map for me is what I said in the first impressions. If this map was in the day and had just daytime lighting, it'd be so much better. It's not like dark corners where you can't see people. It's just not as interesting playing a map that's like all cloudy and like kind of dark like that one is. It's just doesn't look as good to the eyes. So it's like you kind of I would rather play a map that's sunny out. And so I think that alone, if they ever changed lighting on Asilo, would make that map so much better. But that one's down there for me too. And all the other ones pretty much... Border's the only one I will still back out of, actually.
It's the
And
only
border,
unplayable map.
I swear to God, when you play hardcore, there's fucking 3 maps you get, and you always get border. I had to back out of so many border games, and I think the reason is because other people get it, and then they also back out. Because I sat in one for a while, I'm like, whatever, I guess I'll play it. I'm trying to use a shotgun, I'll just rat it up. And the map, it would not fill, because people would get in, and then 2 or 3 people, obviously they were a party, they joined, would just leave, and you couldn't play it. So it would just never load. So that's what I do now, too. I see it, and I back out. Because that map in hardcore, Jesus Christ.
It didn't get better. Yeah. Border did not get better as a Sixes map. Because sometimes that happens where you don't like a Sixes map, or any map, I guess, at first. And then you like play it more and you're like, you know what? I actually do like this map. Not with Border. That'll never be a fun or good map. It's terrible. It's also too big in addition to being so terribly designed. Dude, one time I was playing Hardpoint. And when I spawned, the hard point was 202 meters away from me.
Jesus Christ.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Terrible shit map, yeah.
And there's one lane to run up.
That's the only map that I just like won't play. Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst map besides that is still Hydroelectric.
Yeah.
There's one spawn where you are looking at the sun if you see the other spawn, and it's like the worst spawn in the game.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Yeah, I hate it, but it's not as bad as Border. But yeah, like by and large, I'm having a lot of fun. And so yeah, that's what I'll do is I'll just play Shoot House. Once I'm bored of that, I'll switch to Hardpoint. And then most of the Sixes maps are quite fun, actually. They're better than decent now because I'm starting to get used to them. And then once I get once I see Border, that's usually what I'll do. Then once I get Border in my quick play adventure, I'll be like, okay, time to go back to Shoot House. Back out, go to Shoot House again.
That's funny.
So I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on multiplayer in general, though. So yeah, we'll see how we like the game. I think once the camo grind's over, I was thinking it could be fun to 3 or 4 stack and Hardpoint. But then at that point, if we have that many people on, we're probably just gonna play Warzone. That's what's weird is even if it's still fun,
I think it'd be too
if
easy.
Warzone's in a good playable state, I'm gonna play Warzone over multiplayer always. Yeah, almost always.
Yeah. The problem with 4 stacking and multiplayer too in Sixes is let's assume we're all done with a camo grind, so we're just using our best guns and kill streaks. It's going to be such a rape fest that you're just going to be literally running spawn to spawn, chasing each other's kills.
Yeah. I mean, that one time we did 5 stack, we won 9, 10, 11 games in a row.
Yeah, we won.
And then we just stopped.
Every game except for one.
It's not,
and that's probably because we were all going for dog shit camo challenges using trash guns too.
Yeah. And it's not like we lost at the end. We just got bored, and then it's I know I got off. I think a couple other people did too. But it's we had won so many games in a row.
Yeah.
It's actually too easy.
Yeah.
But then moving on into Warzone here. Yeah, you haven't played nearly as much Warzone, but
no, I haven't.
For me, it's growing on me a lot. Is the mode good? Doesn't seem to be as of right now. But I'm still having a lot of fun. Prox chat, let's be clear. Prox chat will never, ever, ever get old. I've seen this take quite a bit on Twitter that it's once the Prox chat wears off, people realize this is a bad game. I strongly disagree. Prox chat will literally always be funny and always be interesting. Sure, there will be less people using it maybe a few months from now, but even now, Prox chat and Tarkov, people use it all the time and troll people. They're nice to each other. It is something that does not ever get old. People that say that have obviously never played a game that has Prox chat. H1Z1 used to have it back in the day. Some of the best, most funny gaming clips of all time are fucking Ninja getting shit talked and then shit talking people back before he was G-rated in H1Z1. T-Hump, who's one of the funniest streamers in the world. T-Hump just talking the most shit to everyone in H1Z1, including Ninja, fucking screaming at the top of their lungs. Prox chat never, ever, ever gets old. Ever.
That's correct.
So sure, it's the highlight of Warzone right now because the game should have been released next year. But that's always going to stay relevant. That's always going to be great. So another thing, we've been using that giant bird to fly around the map a lot. I don't know if you've been watching OP Marked. That is their strat to win games and go for nukes.
Sucker, huh?
He's usually in the air. The other guys are on the ground. He has his whole backpack is fuel cans. And dude,
Smart.
He'll park that sucker up there and snipe from the air. So it's hovering, not moving. No one thinks to look all the way up there. He's at max elevation that it can go, sniping with just a bunch of fuel cans. When it gets low, fuel that sucker up. It's crazy.
These guys are just giant brain players, dude.
Yeah, and people don't ever take the big birds because they're difficult to use. And if you park it somewhere, you're not getting it back because it floats up like 30 feet in the air and you'll never get it ever again.
Yeah, you have to like land it if you want it back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, even if you land it on the ground and it slowly starts taking off again. It just it leaves.
Does?
Yeah, it leaves. It goes up to a certain height and leaves. Yeah, this happens all the time because I park it and we get out to fight. I'm always flying and then it hovers. It starts moving and starts hovering a little bit and you can never get back into it. And you have to wait till it runs out of gas and crashes. Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense. When you touch on the ground and get out of it, it should not lift off the ground again. It's insane. This happened to us.
Are you sure?
I'm 1,000% sure. This happens to us all the time. It just flies away on its own. It's very slow, but if you're in like a 2-minute gunfight, you come back, the chopper, if you landed on a roof or something, or even on the ground, the chopper's gone. It's in the air where you have to either get on another roof and jump to it and try to get in, or it's just gone forever.
That's so weird.
Yeah, because it's not a good game.
I thought it hovered in place. I didn't think it slowly went up. Huh.
Well, you wouldn't think, right? But it does.
I wonder if that's intended. You think it's intended?
It's probably just the way it's designed with like how it hovers in general.
Yeah.
Maybe an oversight on their end. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, so that's been a lot of fun to do. I'm the certified pilot in the squad. I'm the only licensed pilot. So we'll be flying around and we'll hear people VoIPing. We'll see people down there. There was this one game yesterday where we had 3 birds in the air. I was in the giant bird with Cope.
Oh no!
And then Jake and I think it was Jax we were playing with. Maybe they were in the little tiny birds, and we were landing on these guys who were our bounty. And I was blasting Fortunate Son through my stream deck in procs as we had 3 hovers landing over these guys, shit talking them. So like things like that is so much fun. And proc chat doesn't get old, so that'll always be a great aspect of Warzone.
I totally agree. Yeah.
But so it's like, I'm the pilot and these guys are, I'm driving them places. I'm flying them places and they're all jumping out, SEAL Team 6, hitting the ground. I'm staying in the air for a little bit and shit. It's a ton of fun. So, let's be clear. The game's not good right now, but there are plenty of ways to have fun. If you're not having fun in it, then you're simply trying to sweat too hard and go for TikTok clips. You can have a ton of fun in this game, I mean, if Caldera had proc chat even, I probably would have played Caldera a lot longer. Maybe up until the end of the game, because I would have been screaming at people as to asking them how they came back in the game for the 13th time. Oh, how'd you come back again? Yeah. How did you get back in? How many fucking tokens did you have, man?
Yeah.
But
proc chat doesn't get old. That is a brain dead take.
It's and there's a lot of people that have that take. It will never get old.
People like proc chat isn't like it's not like a game mechanic that would get boring.
Yeah, deathcoms have never gotten old. They've been in COD for fucking 15 years.
Right, exactly.
And I laugh every time someone screams at me. Every time. Yes, I'm never not going to laugh when someone screams the F slur at me in game. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's so mad. He's so mad. That doesn't get old. Proc chat will never get old. Use your brain once.
Yeah, use your brain one single time. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I want to try that big bird strat because that thing's got health too. That's a healthy sucker. If it has the same amount of health as it does in Ground War, if you're like one guy trying to kill a big bird with like an AR, it's gonna take you like 5 mags. I'm not kidding.
At least. I don't even think.
Maybe even more. Yeah.
Ground War, they go down quickly, but that's because people using rockets, launchers, and then they're also using tanks, APCs. People don't usually shoot guns at them, but all those things torch them. But yeah, there was a team flying it the other day, and all 4 of us were firing at it full auto. I dumped probably 3 mags into it. I don't know how much damage it did. The thing wasn't even smoking at that point. So
that sucker's healthy.
They take a while for sure.
That's a strat then. For sure.
Yeah, those big birds, and there's a big bird that lands on the far west side of the map. I believe that's where shipment is. It's like west southwest. There's a dock. You have to. It's so far out in the water. You have to drive like 200, 300 meters out on this dock, and the big bird's parked out there. No one ever takes it ever. It's the freest big bird I've ever seen in my life. And then of course, you can land, air them up, or you can fuel them up.
And repair too, yeah. There's another one that spawns Fortress, which is like the island in the south.
It was Fortress. Yeah, so Fortress has one. High Rise has one. And they always spawn. If it spawns there
High-rise.
once, the big bird spawns are constant. I don't know if the smaller chopper spawns are, but the giant bird, that sucker's always there every game.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good to know too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should try that more.
Yeah,
they're
fun.
hard to maneuver, which is why people probably avoid them. But I mean, it's worth it.
I was thinking someone looking for a funny video, it'd be excellent if you can find random people to get in the back of the chopper with you.
Ooh,
Imagine
yeah.
playing Warzone and able to get like 15, 20 people all on different teams in the back of the chopper. God, that'd be so goddamn fun. Someone would
be
of course
funny.
ruin it, but if you can get a lucky lobby where you can get that many people in just hanging out, that would be fantastic, you know?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, another thing with Warzone is I like how team-oriented it feels at the moment. You can't split as easily in this game unless you're, a top 20 earner in Warzone, because the time to kill is so fast, and you're kind of forced to operate more as a squad and make better rotations and better plays late game, and you need your whole squad alive. If you have 2 guys left, final circle, you're going to lose to the team before almost every time. You're not going to, I don't care how good you are, most of you aren't going to win that fight ever, because the time to kill, if there's 4 guys shooting at you, you're insta-dead. Can't even think about it.
Yeah. And it's also because, like, people were mad about Rebirth because they increased the time to kill, and the sweats were saying, well, if you make the time to kill slower, it's harder to 1v2. So, like, that is true in a sense, but also you could actually outplay people in Rebirth if you're getting shot. But in this game, you can't.
Yeah.
So, like, you would think, like, oh, with a fast TCK, it should be easier to 1v4. Well, if I can't stim, if I can't plate while running,
Yep.
and if I can't slide cancel, that's no longer true. And you really do need, like, a team. Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
So that's
especially
been,
right now
fun.
with, like, the new map and shit, too.
Yeah, you not knowing the map exactly, and you don't know all, like, the meta spots or the best rotations and whatnot. So that's been fun playing a game of 4 or a game of 3 that's like actually team oriented.
Yeah,
because that kind of went away in Caldera with no recoil, beaming
and
people from
balloons,
across
you could
the
get
map.
back to your team so easily.
Exactly.
And gas wasn't as deadly, and you could stim out of gas.
Oh, gas fucks you up in this game. Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So you have to be really cognizant of positioning.
Yeah, there have been times in this game, like I swear, like second or third circle, where we have barely been able to outrun the gas. Like it's the same speed as you are. Like you actually have to drop your gun if you want to try to outrun it. So and then it does so much damage to you. But yeah, so that feels good compared to how Caldera ended up feeling at the end. That's it's fun for sure. Another thing we had talked about in like our brainstorm on Patreon was
Patreon.com/thedropshot.
Our early game strat. So back then it was kind of get money, do a contract. Now it's every single game we land on a safe cracker. So pretty much usually one of us will stay in the air, someone will grab the cracker, and then the person in the air will land at the furthest safe from the rest of the squad and knock that one out. We usually don't even bother landing on a specific spot that just has money, because a safe cracker will give us enough, and then we'll loot around that area and get enough. And then always immediately, once the first safe cracker is done, we go right to the closest buy and buy at least one of our weapons every single time. Another good thing is been focusing a lot on hitting the non-AI controlled strongholds. So in case you didn't know, when the strongholds open, there will be usually like 3 or 4 of them on the map that have AI at them. They're marked on the map. You can attack them, get your loadout.
Like 20.
There's a lot of strongholds. I think it's even more than 20. They're all over the goddamn place. So when the strongholds open, though, you can go to the strongholds that are not AI controlled and mark them on the map. You'll know because they have flags up, like on each corner of like the little stronghold area, and you can go in there and there's really good money, really good loot, streaks, armor vests, bigger backpacks, all of that. So even if it's not an AI controlled stronghold marked on the map, your team can kind of come out of there with easily 15k or so. So that's something else to look out for. We've been doing a lot of that. But yeah, focusing, I think, more on getting our loadouts quicker. So whether that's doing the stronghold or just at least buying both of our loadout guns until we get the free loadout. But, you need those perks. You need those perks badly. I wish we could get them quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so landing on the safe cracker for sure, though, has been the play for us.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, because again, like we had said on our Patreon episode, patreon.com/thedropshot, in our first ever Warzone 2.0 brainstorming bonus episode, which is available to each and every patron at patreon.com/thedropshot. You could listen to it right the fuck now if you wanted to, because it's already uploaded and you get access to the entire backlog at patreon.com/thedropshot. There isn't that much money loose on this map. Or if there is, it's in very particular areas. Unlike, for example, Late Caldera, where you could land pretty much anywhere and not do a contract and you'll get 10K pretty quick. Especially like in quads. That was like the strat in Warzone 1. In Warzone 2, maybe that could be the strat if you land at like a particular area with like a lot of cash registers or whatever. But it's still probably just faster and better to do a safe cracker because you get a vest almost certainly, or a number of them, 3. You definitely get the money, obviously. You get ammo, you get guns, you get plates. So it's still just, yeah, it makes the most sense for sure. So I believe it, definitely. Yeah, unfortunately, again, I just haven't played much Warzone 2 lately.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get through those camos, man. And then I'm going to fucking bark. Camos. So you have your next note here is about weapons you've been using. The last time I played Warzone, I was using, what was it? I was using
TAC 56, I think, the HCR.
I was using the TAC 56. The TAC 56,
That's
not
still
the TAC V.
Probably the best overall AR, the most popular one, I would imagine.
And that's what I was going to say is it felt really easy to control and like it had a pretty good TTK. It was kind of like it's not as easy to use as a Kilo, but it's just like a solid gun. There's nothing like super special or crazy about it. It's just a gun with fairly low recoil with decent damage. And it felt good. Like I felt comfortable using it. And there were a couple of guns I tried, like the HCR. I probably had set it up poorly at the time, and it wasn't max level at the time either. But when I was using the HCR, it had like a little more recoil than I was comfortable with. And again, I think I could probably build it now that it's max level to have a comfortable amount of recoil. But it's also an LMG, pretty slow. I think the TAC 56 was just really good, and it felt usable. Yeah, I don't know. But it's hard to say without TTK charts and shit. Please,
which I actually like. I like it like this. I'm gonna be honest. I like it like this. I hope Sim, JGod, TGD never start giving us time to kills, because I like this. No one knows what to use. It's a bunch of different setups. The game's going to instantly become way less interesting when there's one gun that's obviously way better, because the stats come out and then I'm using that and everyone else is using it, until Infinity Ward maybe nerfs it 2.5 months later. I like it how it is. You see so many different guns. You see burger bots running M4s. You see people trying to snipe with different snipers. You see people even running like marksman rifles, battle rifles, so many different SMGs. I love it this way. But undoubtedly that will change at some point. I'm surprised it hasn't already, and it'll be, everyone's using at a max 4 guns. So lately, last few days, I've been big on the AK, the Kastov 7.62, which I'm never calling it, by the way. It's the AK-47. So I've been big on the AK-47 and the TAC V. The more I use the V, the more cap I think it is. A lot of people like that one right now. It's a popular gun. It hits really hard. It is the battle rifle. It's insane. Probably the best gun in multiplayer, honestly. But or my favorite gun for sure. But it's pretty hard to control. It's hard to so you're gonna end up missing so many shots at range. If you use an optic, you're especially gonna miss shots. You can use iron sights, so it'll appear like you have less recoil, but you're still gonna miss shots and also not be able to see people as easily. Right. And it's gonna end up taking a lot of rounds to kill. Up close, it's actually even better. And will torch up close, but it doesn't have the best mobility, so I don't know. I think overall my favorite build right now is the AK-47. I use a Metaphor setup, and it uses a red dot. Doesn't have great ADS, but like that red dot, beam people at like 100, 150 meters, it does not move very much. Like you can pretty easily track people. And that's what a lot of the builds have gone to, is like red dots or irons, which I like too, not having to use an optic. Not having to use a zoom
probably
optic.
Pretty smart. Yeah, I kind of want to try that. Kind of back to the Growl Growl vibes. Have you not tried the RPK? Like, what advantage does the AK have over an RPK? I guess
it feels like it kills a lot faster.
Really?
The actual time to kill seems faster, but I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't want to run LMGs. Like Cope was using a Rawl the other day, and I picked it up just like walk around with. He had died to a team we were fighting, and I was just like, God damn, the movement is just so bad. You know, it's not if you use like an SMG or akimbo pistols to get around the map, it's fine. But like without double time on this game, with having zero mobility, using an LMG is just fucking boring. You know, is it going to actually get you killed more often moving that slow? Probably not, but it's just boring, and I don't want to play that way, and I never will. So, I don't know. But AK-47 feels really good from out of the primaries I've used. And for my secondary, I've been rocking either akimbo snake shots, akimbo P890s, or the Fennec usually. All are excellent choices. Anything up close is really good.
How is akimbo snake shot?
Surprisingly balanced. Pretty bad past like 10 meters. You really have to get in their ass, and it seems like in their ass probably 3 shots kill them. So you know, akimbo fire both of them, and then the next time you do that, one of those 2 will usually down them.
Right.
They were a lot more broken in Warzone 1 back in Verdansk than they are now. I mean, I think they probably need still a nerf up close. But yeah, there's no range to them. You have to get in their ass. So that's fun though, because you know, with how fast your movement is, you can get in their ass. It's unfortunate you can't slide at them while shooting anymore, though. That would make them. That alone would probably make the gun a lot more broken if you could slide at someone while shooting, but you can't do that. So
I feel like when I was using akimbo snake shots in multiplayer, the movement was slow enough to where I was like, this is a good balancing mechanism for these. I did not feel like I was moving that fast.
They zoom in Warzone.
Really?
It feels that way.
Like faster than a Fennec?
Oh yeah, feels that way.
Interesting. Yeah,
they're pretty close. I mean, slow. Pistols in general, the akimbo pistols I've used have always felt faster than using any SMG, pretty much. But I don't know how to like. I haven't been building my Fennec really for like movement speed. You can increase sprint speed, movement speed on like all the SMGs. Right. I haven't really done that. So the builds I've used, the akimbo pistols have been better. But yeah, it's a good secondary just for getting around movement slower, I think. Yeah, I think Jax is right. The akimbo X13 fully autos, those feel like they have slow movement speed. The snake shots feel a lot better.
Those felt super slow.
Yeah, those, which is a good way to balance them because they're fully auto and you can put, what, a 50-round drum mag on each. So they should have... Yeah. Because actually, in multiplayer, I ended up not even using the 50-round drum because it made your movement speed a lot worse. I just stuck with a 33. And you don't need 50 rounds anyways in each gun.
By the way, in real life, imagine holding a Glock with 50 fucking bullets underneath it in each hand at shoulder level. You'd have to be fucking Mike Tyson doing jump ropes for an hour a day to be able to maintain that. Like, my shoulders burn watching my character.
Yeah, I don't know how heavy that would be.
How fucking heavy would that be?
I don't think it's as heavy as you're thinking.
A full 50-round mag, dude? That sounds like a lot. It sounds real heavy. Maybe not, though. I've never seen a bullet in real life, so I don't know. But it seems like it'd be pretty fucking... Seems like your shoulders would burn out very quick, you know? Real fucking fast.
The mag itself weighs 17 ounces, it says.
That's just a pound. Empty.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not even loaded with the gun, mag, and bullets. That wouldn't even be 10 pounds. I don't think. Not that heavy.
No, it wouldn't be 10 pounds, but even like 5, like holding it out like this, you'd be surprised, dude. Go pick up something and just hold your arm.
Yeah, I mean,
your shoulders will burn in like 2 minutes. Like it's I don't know.
Oh yeah, well you're not running around with them out for not in real life, of course. So that's what we're talking about. You're not running around for 2 minutes, them sticking out. Yeah, in the game though, that'd be pretty hard for
you're
sure.
Always,
Oh, them suckers stay out.
Point, but anyway, realism.
But yeah, pro tip I have, by the way, you cannot choose your perks in Warzone. You have to pick a perk package. I've discovered the best package. And it is the Warden package. You're not ever going to focus on the bonus perk because they don't work most of the time.
Ultimate perk,
sorry. So the Warden package is the one you're going to want to run for 2 things. You get double time and fast hands. That's it. Nothing else matters. But you get Stronghold and you get overclock. Strong arm, sorry. And you get overclock, which is the thing to get your field upgrades faster, so I don't even know how that works in Warzone.
Does that literally do anything in Warzone?
I have no idea. Didn't look. Don't care, because I have double time and fast hands.
Field upgrades are rechargeable, and you can store an additional charge. If that ever will work in Warzone, here's the strat. Pick up a revive pistol, and now you get a recharging self-res with 2 storages. That would be broken if it worked.
Yeah, maybe.
So there's a little pro tip for if that ever works that way. But yeah, and how is Strong Arm, by the way? Because I never used it, but I was watching Symphony use this package with Strong Arm, and I saw him. I talked about this. He just put a Semtex right where he wanted it to a different roof because he had Strong Arm, and I was like, and I said this at patreon.com/Dropshot in our bonus episode. That seems like a good actual perk to run, and it seems like, besides double time, it's the best other base perk for Warzone, surprisingly. Do you feel like that is true? Do you feel like you're getting a benefit from Strong Arm?
Don't even remember it, honestly. Didn't pay attention. Don't even. Well, because also by the time like we're getting our loadout, it's a lot of times so late in the game. I know how to throw. I only use Semtex, so I know pretty much where they're going to land. I can get a Semtex through a window while I'm running from pretty damn far away, like pretty consistently. So I don't know. I mean, if you're swapping tactical or lethals often, like using ground loot ones, and you don't know the trajectory of every one, it could be really good. But I'm literally running the package for double time and fast hands, and I barely paid attention to the stronghold aspect.
Is it the only one that has both of those?
As far as I know,
Vanguard had them both too. The Vanguard package. Maybe not though.
High Alert has never once worked for me. That's literally one of the perks that does not work. It's never gone off once for me. That's why I stopped using it. It wasn't working for anyone. Maybe they did patch it and didn't say that in the patch notes. I haven't tried it since, but double time and fast hands make the game feel so much faster. If you had those perks by base at the start of Warzone, that would make the game feel a lot quicker than it does right now. Yeah, because double time helps a lot in this game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, not once has High Alert worked for me. Not once. That's so weird. Like, we've all talked about this. No one we play with has ever noticed that High Alert actually worked. It's like actually just broken.
It's probably a hidden patch where they fixed it. That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's even what JGod talked about, that it's like High Alert doesn't work in Warzone.
Yeah, that's what everyone was saying.
That was like over a week ago, so maybe they fixed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I think, the best package. And then kind of one of the last things for me to talk about is a little thing I think we may have discovered. We were playing yesterday, we were playing trios, and then Jax joined, and he had been playing duos, and he had mentioned something like right off the rip that's like, yeah, I seem to like crash more in quads. I'm like, that's weird. Never really thought about it. I absolutely think he's correct. He joined us. The first game he joined us, he hadn't crashed all morning. He crashed first game of quads. We played 3 more games after that, 3 or 4 more games. Every single time, one of us crashed. We could not complete a game of 4 people. So I think something with quads is messed up. Because I also keep saying Metaphor, OP Marked, a bunch of them, when they have been going for the nuke and quads, someone crashes literally every single game. You cannot get through a game of 4 without someone crashing. So I think that is an issue. And I see a lot of people complaining about crashing often. If you are, kick one of your squad members out, try playing trio, see if it still happens. Because I went back and I thought about it. I'm like, dude, I think you're right. Most of the time I've crashed, including I crashed yesterday playing quads. I very rarely dev error. When I look back, I think most of the times that I have since like the first 2 to 3 days of launch when they fixed a lot of the crashing issues, it's pretty much always been in quads. So if you're having a lot of issues with that, drop a friend, tell them to, fuck off and just play trios or something. See if that works better for you. Because I do think there's some sort of correlation there. So, of course, you ask, how is Infinity Ward and Raven going to solve this issue? They're either going to remove quads for 3 months, and then maybe we'll see it back, or quads is going to be decreased to like 120 players or something. That's what they're going to do, Smile.
It's so weird that quads would... I believe that this is true, first of all, but I don't understand why that would be the case. It's not like quads has more players on the map than any other game mode. Like, why?
I know, exactly.
It's just so random.
You see people constantly.
I'm thinking of every time I crashed, I think it was like quads in Warzone. Yeah, this is
Like,
probably true.
Day one when we played duos, I don't think either of us ever dev-aired, shockingly, on day one of Warzone.
Correct.
Did we? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
So, yeah, and
No,
it's...
definitely not, because I would have remembered if I was the only one alive, and you would too. So we did not crash at all playing duos.
And then the thing is when we were playing, all four of us also crashed. Jax crashed the first game. I think Cope crashed the second game. Jake crashed the third game, and I crashed the fourth game. We could not all finish one game. So weird.
Yeah, I believe it.
And we had been playing trios before that. Played trios for hours straight, and like the day or two before, and that never happened to us.
Yeah.
So there's a fun little issue. So if you are crashing constantly and you're playing quads, try a different mode, see if that works.
Right, trios. Yeah, those are good comms. I bet you're right. But
yeah. And last thing here, I think we mostly talked about this on Patreon. Maybe we already did. But the new circle endings. Not every game ends Hydro and Observatory now. And it's very fun. The endings are still excellent. We had some fun ones yesterday.
A lot of variety now.
Yeah. And it's still like, there's still like 25, 30 people left by the end. And the endings are very, very fun. It's fun finally fighting in different areas of the map. It makes it feel a lot different. Like already the circles ending in the same spot for the first week, that got old so quickly. The endings got boring quickly because of that. Even though they were intense, it's boring fighting in the same spot. It's been great change of pace, going all over the place. We haven't had like a downtown ending yet. I know it's possible. But yeah, and then even one time, the circle was in like the bottom right of the map, and half of the circle was in water. And I was like, oh boy, the loadout drops are coming in. Let's see how many land in water. They surprisingly designed it so none of the loadouts land in water. So loadouts pretty much always go right through the middle. I was like, all right, 2 or 3 of these are going to be in the water. I wonder if they drop and they float and you have to swim out there. It was like an L-shaped and landed all on land. I was like, wow, I can't believe they figured that out, actually.
They did it.
I don't think we ended up getting towards the end in that game, so we didn't see like how much of the water was in play at the end. But
yeah, I wish you guys had. I'm very curious.
It's very fun with the new circle endings, fighting all over the map in areas I had hardly even been before. So that's been great.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing about the circles always ending in one spot is that it's not just the end game is always the same. It's really kind of like the entire game is always the same.
Yeah.
Because if it's closing in on the same area every time, that means the circle before it is going to be about the same area and the circle before that. So it's like you're playing the same mid game too, like in the same area. So once that starts to get, some more variety.
Yeah.
Then you actually like play the whole map. Yeah.
Yeah, Jax had a terminal ending right before he had played with us, and he said that was insane and a lot of fun. That I haven't gotten that one yet, but yeah,
that does sound like a lot of fun.
That's been great, honestly.
Dude, terminal actually parts of it look exactly like interchange. It's like it. Yeah, it was crazy.
When Jake it's not terminal you're thinking of. It's the other. It's the building,
the airport or whatever, right?
No, it's somewhere else. It's an actual mall. That's why it looks like it. It's not at. It's. Let me look at the map here.
Let's pull up the map.
I believe it is.
I could have sworn it was at least by the airport.
I think it's north of airport on the other side of the road. It's in like Akhtar Village. No.
I think it's the airport, man. I think you're capping.
No, it's not. Or is it by said city?
Well, it's either, you know what? It might be Syed City.
I think it's said city. It's that giant building to the right of it.
It wouldn't be in a village. I'm just looking at it. It couldn't be. These are all little shit buildings. But yeah, it could be like to the left of the name Syed. Like that building, that long ass building. Yeah, maybe it's that. Or above it too. Yeah, I don't know.
The one right above it, that massive building. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Because it's by like the soccer field or something, and there's bleachers, and that's where that is to the north of said city. So I think that's it. Yeah, that does look. It's even dark in there, like interchange. That's what's funny.
Yeah, it's cool. But anyway, yeah, I have nothing to really add on the Warzone point. Again, I just haven't been playing that much. I will be playing a lot more. To reiterate, once the camos are done, but I'm just a fucking camo. I'm a little fucking camo Casey, dude. That's who I am. Camo fucking Casey, dude. And I'm having so much.
Have you been using that
fun.
Toy lately?
No.
Yeah, interesting. You're already done with it. You bought a fancy toy and then you stopped using it.
I'll use it again, but like right now, I'm getting close enough on the camo grind. I don't want to slow myself down because I'm still dog shit on a controller. I'm still just better on the keys.
Yeah.
So yeah, keyed up Casey, keyed up camo Casey. That's me now. But yeah, I will say though, overall, as far as Call of Duty is concerned, DMZ was a letdown barely because I didn't expect it to be good. Ground War was a massive letdown because I did expect it to be good. But everything else has been quite fun. Warzone is kind of a mess, and I expected that, but it's getting better.
It's a messy amount of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Prox Chat is even better than I expected. Once I get really used to the looting and inventory system, I think I'll be enjoying Warzone 2 a lot more as well, because then I'll be faster. Because right now it's like I get in a building with a lot of loot, and I'm spending twice as long as I'll end up spending once I'm super efficient and used to like inventory management, what to prioritize, get used to all the icons so I know exactly what something is without having to like think about it for a split second. That's going to get a lot better, and they're just going to make improvements to the game too, to Warzone. More bug fixes, fewer crashes, etc. And then multiplayer, I'm having more fun than ever in multiplayer, which is mostly what I've been playing. The addition of Shoot House has helped tremendously because I can alternate between that and then just the regular Sixes maps. And now I'm using fun guns finally, because that's how I've structured my camo grind. So overall, I'm having a lot of fucking fun, more than I ever have in MW2 is the fun I've been having now. So that's a really good sign, because it was the exact opposite for Vanguard. I had the most fun on day one of Vanguard, and then it got precipitously worse and worse and worse.
Once they started updating it,
this has been the opposite experience. Actually, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I wish they had never updated it and it stayed the way it did on day one.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
it's been fun.
Anyway,
game of the year for sure.
Best sound design, I voted Smile.
Surely. Yeah.
The joke, obviously. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go grind. Stay humble.
Stay humble.